Good morning, this is Adam Sweet. Today I want to teach you how to do the mandolin chop that has been made famous in bluegrass, sometimes called the Bluegrass Chop. So basically what we're going to do, you need to start with a mandolin. You don't need an F5 style, this is an F5 style mandolin. It's called that because it has the scroll work and the F holes. There are other F style mandolins that do not have the holes. I've seen Gibson F mandolins that have oval holes instead. But this is called the F5 style. You don't need an F5 style to play bluegrass. You can use an A style. Here's my, you probably see me do videos with this mandolin. This is my favorite A style mandolin. Sometimes it's called a flat iron style. But anyway, you just need a mandolin to do the chop. So the second thing you need is to know how to use what are called closed chords. So closed chords are chords where you're touching every string on the instrument. You can't use open chords to do a chop, like two finger chords, because only two of the fingers will be on the strings and the other two strings will just resonate, and you can't chop off the sound. So you need closed chords like the big G that I've taught you how to do, the C, and don't hit the E string, the D, and the A. For example, F, E, I've taught you how to do these other chords. If you have any question about how to do the chords, just look under the mandolin playlist on my YouTube channel, and mandolin lessons, I think is what it's called, and just keep going down until you see the ones about how to do chords. Okay, so let's just assume that you know how to do closed chords, and let's start with the most common bluegrass chord form, which is called the G form. And if you've watched my video on movable chords, you've seen that the G form is really great for using for different keys, like the A by moving it up 2 frets, B by moving it up 3 frets, that's B flat, 4 frets, etc. So let's start with the G. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to strike your pick across all of the strings at the same time. So you're not going to sweep across, you're going to try to strike across, which creates a very clear percussive sound. In the meantime, you're going to have your fingers lightly pressing down on the strings in your left hand, and that creates the chop. So let me show you over here what I'm doing. So I've got my 4 fingers pressed down on the appropriate frets for the G chord, but instead of pushing down really hard, which would produce a sustained tone, instead of doing that, I'm just touching the strings. So when I hit them, it gets a chop sound. So that's how you do the chop. Now, in terms of the strumming pattern you use for the chop, that totally depends on the style of music, the time signature, whether it's in 2/4 or 4/4 or 3/4 or whatever. But let's just assume that you're in 4/4 and you're playing a bluegrass tune like, I don't know, Rollin' My Sweet Baby's Arms, for example. So that's Roll My Sweet Baby's Arms is in 4/4, which means 4 quarter notes per note. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the first note on the upper string, the G string, and let it resonate a little bit. And then you're going to hit all 4 strings on the third beat of the measure. So it's going to sound something like this. So if you're counting in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if it's a little faster. So to make a real clear chop that doesn't include the notes, really all you have to do is mute all the strings. But the reason why you want to have your chord fingers down, depending on whatever the chord should be, is so that you can get a little bit of resonance for that chord. So in the case of G, so even though we're chopping, you can still tell it's in the key of G. Another example would be D, F, right? So that's how you do a chop. So just to recap, make sure that your fingers are all lightly touching on the correct place on the fretboard for whatever the key is. And make sure you swipe across all of the strings at the same time. Don't strum. So this is not a strum, this is a chop. Okay, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, head over to my website at www.granbymusic.com, or you can follow me on Facebook, and we'll see you soon.